Codex says the feature is complete. It says the implementation is finished. The test pass and the requested behavior works. Do you accept it? The final response may be accurate, but it is still a summary produced by the same system that did the work. The repository is where we decide whether the outcome is acceptable. Hi, I'm Chuck McCullough. Let's go from prompt to proof. In Lesson 1, we saw that a coding agent can take actions, observe results, and continue towards an outcome. In Lesson 2, we separated the model from the Codex runtime that supplies the context, the tools, the controls, and the feedback. Now it's your turn to supervise the complete workflow. We're going to give Codex a small feature request and let it inspect and modify a real repository, verify the behavior, review the diff, run a separate code review, and then make an explicit decision. Accept, revise, or reject. The workflow has 6 stages. Understand the repository, define what done means, implement the change, verify the result, review the work, then decide. These stages are not always a straight line. A failed check can send the task back to implementation. A review finding can require correction and another round of verification. And sometimes inspection reveals that the definition of done is incomplete. The important point is that an agent turn is not our unit of success. A repository outcome is. For this demonstration, we have a tiny Python issue tracker. It can already list the issues from a JSON file, and its 5 existing tests pass. The README also describes a feature that has not been implemented. We want a summary command that counts open, in progress, and closed issues, prints a total, rejects unsupported statuses, preserves the existing list commands, adds tests, and updates the documentation. This is larger than a one-line bug fix, but still small enough that we can review every changed file. Our task prompt has 4 useful parts. The goal is to implement the documented summary command. The context is the repository and the acceptance criteria in the README. The constraints are to make the smallest coherent change, preserve existing behavior, review the diff, and not commit anything. And done means that the tests pass, the positive and the negative examples have been run, the documentation matches the feature, and the final diff has been inspected. That is not a magic prompt. It's a task contract. Codex can still misunderstand a requirement or make a bad change. The contract gives both the agent and the reviewer something concrete to evaluate. Let's run the task. Our hands-on demo involves an application called issue CLI. We'll run this from the command line so that you can see what it does, but it reads from a JSON file, a set of issues that we're currently tracking, and gives us the details of all of those issues. So you can see here we've got a closed and in progress and 2 open issues. Now, let me run the unit test so you can see that they pass. All right, so we have 5 tests. All 5 tests pass. The issue is that we needed another feature. The user wants a summary command to issue just a count of each of the issues that exist in each category. If I try to run this summary command, we'll see that it fails because there isn't a summary command. Okay, there's our error. There is no choice called summary. That's what we're going to ask Codex to build for us. So important on this screen, and this is in the README, you can see we've created a mock-up of what we want the output to look like. A count for each of the categories, open, in progress, closed, and total. And we're telling it exactly what the acceptance criteria is. All right, so our acceptance criteria is that it prints the summary in the order that we specify. If it's missing, it counts as a 0. If there's any issue that contains an unsupported status, then we'll print error along with that status, because the JSON file could contain other things. We need to have some automated tests. We need to update the usage documentation that the feature was implemented, but we want to keep all of the existing behavior as is. Like in our previous demos, we're going to run this from a script, and here's what the script is going to send in. It's going to say, first of all, read the requirements from readme.md, what we just looked at. Inspect the repository, echo back the behavior and the definition of done, and then make the smallest change possible. Add unit test and provide the documentation updates. Don't commit, summarize the changes, and verify the evidence. So off we go with the run. So we can see our prompt is in. It's inspecting the repository now and reading the README. And we can see the tool runs here. I have to approve those. We've sped this up a little bit because it does run for a few minutes. So it's read our data file. Now it has determined what the changes need to be. Now writing the changes as well as writing our new unit test and then running the unit test. Now the unit tests have run. It's added 2 more. All of them pass. It's also running the command line example of the command and verifying that the counts come out correctly. So we have a pretty good verification. All 7 tests pass. The example runs correctly. We have the diff. It reviewed the diff, but now we're going to review the diff. So let's first look at the changes to implement the summary. So we can see a couple of lines of code added to the Python, to the CLI, to add the summary command line and to add the path argument to that summary. And then here's the actual implementation where it reads through and totals up the counts. It also provided us with 2 new unit tests, which you can see at least one of them listed here, and it's been added. There's the second one, been added to our unit test file. And of course, the best evidence, let's try it ourselves, see if the command actually works. So there's the summary command, and there are the counts for each of the different issue categories. Now we can make a decision. Start with behavior. The new summary command printed the required counts in the required order. Then check the negative path. The unsupported status produced the required error and exit code. Next, automated evidence. The expanded test suite passed, and the original list command still worked. Then documentation. The README now describes the command that actually exists. And finally, scope. The Git diff contains the implementation, its tests, and the documentation change without unrelated edits. Those are different kinds of evidence. A green test suite does not prove that the test represents the requirement. A correct manual example does not prove that the edge cases are covered. A clean diff does not prove that the design is correct. Together, they reduce different kinds of uncertainty. I use an evidence ladder for this kind of task. First, the requested behavior. Second, the negative path. Third, the automated checks. Fourth, regression behavior. Fifth, documentation. Sixth, the scope of the diff. And seventh, a separate review. The separate review matters because implementation and review are different jobs. Codex can review uncommitted changes and report prioritized findings without modifying the working tree. But the review result is not automatically correct either. A finding needs evidence. If the review reports a problem, inspect the relevant code and requirement. If the finding is valid, request a bounded correction, rerun the checks, and review the new diff. If the review reports no findings, say exactly that. It found no actionable issue under its review criteria. That is useful evidence, not proof of perfection. At the end, choose one of 3 states. Accept when the contract is met, the evidence is credible, and the scope is coherent, and no blocking risk remains. Revise when the approach is sound, but the specific requirement, test, edge case, or scope problem still needs correction. Reject when the implementation is unsafe, materially off scope, or based on the wrong understanding of the task. Do not use revise as a vague feeling. Name the gap and the evidence that would close that gap. Do not use reject as punishment for an imperfect first attempt. Use it when continuing along the current path would be the wrong decision. And do not accept merely because the agent stopped. Accept because the repository supports the outcome. This changes how you watch an agent work. File inspection is not progress by itself. An edit is not completion by itself. A passing command is not sufficient by itself. Each action matters because of the evidence it adds to or removes from the final decision. The final response is still valuable. It should tell you which files changed, which checks ran, what behavior was observed, and what risk remains. But treat that response as a handoff to review, not a certificate of correctness. All right, so that completes the first module. A coding agent combines a model with instructions, tools, an environment, and a feedback loop. The Codex runtime connects these parts and enforces the available controls, and you remain responsible for defining the outcome and deciding whether the evidence is good enough. Later modules will make this workflow more durable. We will move repeated expectations into configuration and agents.md. We'll package repeated methods as skills, connect tools and external context, and coordinate bounded work. But the foundation will stay the same. Clear task, inspectable environment, bounded action, useful feedback, independent review, explicit decision. So here's your challenge. Choose one small feature in a disposable repository. Before opening Codex, write the acceptable criteria. Require one positive example, one negative example, automated checks, and a final diff review. Make an explicit accept, revise, or reject decision. In the next module, we'll begin configuring the agent system so important expectations do not have to be repeated in every prompt. Hey, leave me a comment and let me know how it worked for you. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new content. Also, members get exclusive access to source code and advanced videos. Join our community today by becoming a member, and I'll see you in the next video.